Hello, everyone. Welcome. A lot of stuff to go over today. Namely, we finally saw the sandbox update. There was a lack of change to firebolts, and then the community response has been, well, predictable for the most part. Very angry. Very angry. Also, Planet Destiny, if you guys have gone to our YouTube very recently, you might notice that we got hacked.
You want to start with auto rifles? All right, so auto rifles. Low rate of fire auto rifles like Suros Regime and Answering Chord, Anguish Driston are getting a 2.3% increase in base damage. High rate of fire auto rifles like the Doctrine of Passing or the Arminius D, which everybody just got a god roll on, are getting a 2.5% reduction in base damage. There's going to be, across the board, an improvement to hip fire final accuracy.
Cool.
So, I'm not actually that excited about the high rate of fire nerf. I am excited about the low rate of fire buff, and the improvement to hip fire final accuracy sounds good as well.
And Suros was looking good in the stream.
Oh yeah,
Suros is doing work.
Did you guys see
that Queen gun too?
Yeah,
that Queen gun was putting in a lot of work.
That Queen gun, I think it was the lowest rate of fire one with focused fire as well. So it is basically like a scout rifle. It was doing some good stuff.
Pulse rifles. So this is something that we've talked a lot about on this podcast. Is the low rate of fire pulse rifles. The Messenger, Spare Change, Ludmilla are getting a 3% increase from previous base damage. They claimed that they were more capable of 2-burst kills now. They claimed that on stream.
Probably depending on the armor that you're shooting against.
Depending on the armor you're shooting at, yep.
So I'm never going to be able to kill a Titan in 2 bursts, am I?
You shouldn't be able to, though. I mean, those things... we've had this conversation
We've had
before.
This conversation.
Yeah. But the time to kill on those things was so fast when they were consistently able to do it.
Oh, yeah.
That they really became god guns.
Yeah.
They're hard ones to balance, though.
I'm very happy about the Ludmilla change, or like the change to that type, because Ludmilla was one of my absolute favorite weapons for 6v6s.
Hand cannons are getting increased ammo inventory for all hand cannons, which I think is sorely needed.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely needed. Obviously, they're not doing anything to buff the accuracy or anything like that, but you can actually use hand cannons in PvE now, which will be nice for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Fusion rifles. This was a big one. Fusion rifles are more stable across the board. The maximum stability for a fusion rifle has not been changed much, but the baseline minimum stability is much stronger, 40% recoil reduction. And they linearly ramp up from there. Fixed the bug where some outlying fusion rifle scopes had unintended increased zoom that was removed in year 2.
I'm really excited about that one, about the fusion rifles. I really want them to be good.
Yeah.
I want them to be usable, at least.
They're one of the most unique weapons in Destiny. You know, you don't play Call of Duty and use a charged gun. You know, this is something that Destiny should capitalize on. I hope they are usable. All right, this is the big one.
Watts, do you want to do Fusion Rifle Fridays on not this Friday, but
when they're buffed?
When they're actually buffed? Okay, cool.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. We will. And before we get into sniper rifle changes, I just realized I forgot to introduce our 2 guests.
Oh God!
I completely forgot about that. Ms5oooWatts, returning guest. Hello. Also, I think this is your first time on the podcast, Fallout. First time on the podcast. Hello, Fallout Plays, big contributor here. Introduce yourself since this is your first time.
I'm Fallout. I have a YouTube channel. I like to do videos on Crucible. I like to test a lot of things, get numbers, make guides. I stream. I like long walks on the beach. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Next.
Sniper rifles. So this is the big one. This is really got people up in a tizzy. They're increasing base zoom distance on the lowest range sniper scopes. Medium to long range scopes are untouched. So this is basically everybody's favorite scopes, right? Ambush.
Pretty much.
Yeah, short gaze. I think the long view SLR-10 was in there, but I don't see a whole lot of people using that one anyway.
I use it, but
I used to use
whatever.
that a bunch. It has good aim assist. I thought it was kind of reliable.
It's really reliable, but it does kind of slow down the weapon some. So
A little bit, yeah.
so you want like
Short gaze, I think, was the preferred.
it's much faster.
They're increasing the base zoom distance on sniper rifles that did not have optic enhancing scope nodes. Hereafter, Black Spindle, Patience and Time, and Still Piercer. So the exotics, basically. Add 2 frames of zoom time to base sniper handling. I think they're talking about the ADS speed here, how fast you actually bring the weapon up and can fire it while aiming down sight. Reduce snapshot perk to 20% to benefit to base zoom time. Again, the ADS speed, it's down from 30% to 20%. So it's just snapshot's gonna be a hair less effective at helping out that ADS speed.
Still more stuff.
Yeah, reduced stability across all sniper rifle stats so that reacquiring a target after firing requires more care. So it's going to be harder to get follow-up body shots. Yeah. Addresses a bug where Zen Moment was not providing perk benefit to sniper rifles.
That sounds like a lot, but we should make a point that during the Bungie stream, they were putting in a lot of work with those snipers. In the matches that we saw, they were looking pretty good.
Once a person gets experienced enough at sniping, they should be keenly aware that you're aiming before you zoom in with a sniper. You're pre-aiming. So if you see someone on the left side of your screen, you're not zooming in and then moving left. That's too slow. You move your cursor or crosshair to the left and then zoom in and then do fine adjustments from there. So really, scope zoom distance not going to affect a larger part of the player base. It'll just take a little bit to get used to.
I don't think it will. And my counter argument to it making people campy is that special ammo is coming in at 3 minutes. So that's a long time. If you're playing like a control match and you're literally just sitting at the back of the map with your sniper, are you really going to wait there for 3 minutes and not use up all your ammo? And I just don't see that really being an effective playstyle. So even if people are doing that, you can just run at them and kill them, surely. If they're literally just sitting there trying to snipe you and then wait for 3 minutes to come.
Yeah, I don't think those sniper changes are going to be as bad as a lot of people think they will be.
You just have to get better at aiming before you scope in.
As John Wisniewski said, get good. Get good.
This reminds me a lot of the shotgun adjustments they made in 2.1, where they really are starting to fine-tune these things. They're not just making these like huge widespread changes. They're really starting to like make these little minuscule tweaks, and I like that. What do we got next here? Ammo economy. So this one is concerning, I think. It's not getting a whole lot of talk about because I think it's gonna affect PvE players kind of almost more than it affects PvP players. But the changes here are swapping special weapons in PvP now completely removes special ammo until more is found on the map. Thank you, Jesus.
Fine with that.
Yeah.
Yep. Very fine with that.
Reduce the total ammo inventory for all sniper rifles by roughly 5 to 7 rounds. Exact amount depends on a given weapon's magazine and inventory stats. Reduce the total ammo inventory for all shotguns by roughly 5 to 7 rounds. Again, depending on the weapon's magazine and inventory stats. Increase special ammo drop rate in all PvE activities to offset the reduced inventory for shotguns and sniper rifles. Reduce the fraction of ammo granted by purple bricks in PvP. This change affects all machine guns and only a handful of rocket launchers. Truth is one of the effective rocket launchers.
Get fucked, Truth.
Reduce bonus ammo inventory granted by the machine gun ammo armor perk by 33%.
Awesome. I mean,
I like everything about this except for in PvE, those bricks better start dropping. Otherwise, we're going to have real issues.
Very long raids.
Yeah. This better not be a 0.004% increase
right.
or whatever to the drop rates because, man.
As long as they drop it, it should be fine. As long as it's a good enough increase.
Yeah. All right, so player resurrection. This is getting some changes. I think this is going to really affect elimination in trials.
It's a dividing issue here, too. Yeah.
Reduce interactive radius of resurrection prompt by 0.5 meters. Increase base time to resurrect by 0.25 seconds. Reprioritize overshield so that it takes precision damage modifiers. Previously, it did not, which allows more sniper archetype to get res kills. Only a few PvE combatants deal precision damage, so aside from a few exceptions, this only affects the PvP mechanic. Adjust resurrection invincibility frames so that the moment a player can move and take damage are more consistent in most networking conditions. I think what this is saying is that as soon as you can move, you can start taking damage. I think.
Instead of like rezzing and then not being able to do anything.
Right, where you're just kind of stuck there waiting to get headshot.
You're like, no, why'd you res me? I can't do anything about this. Yeah.
Reduce resurrection time bonus on exotic armor. So the Cresta Alpha Lupi, Light Beyond Nemesis to 30%, down from 40%. So you're not going to be able to just run across a teammate and res them while you're sprinting by. You're going to have to be standing closer to them. Yeah, you're going to have to be standing closer to them. It's going to take longer. It's going to take longer for their res to become available.
Mostly, the thing that I'm happy about this is it's going to have more. We're going to have more weapon diversity across. Well, we're going to have more sniper rifle diversity instead of just the 1,000-yard stare. We're going to have, basically patience and time is coming back. Hereafter will be there as well. That should be able to res snipe. We're still like trying to do the math if No Land Beyond will be able to res snipe without having it up.
That would be.
I love the Hereafter, because if the Hereafter could res snipe, not only are you killing that guy, but you're also blinding the guy who's trying to res him. That's gonna beautiful.
Be fun. It's gonna be so fun. If that's a thing and it happens, we're gonna see Hereafter blind montages.
Oh, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good.
Weapon perks. Okay, so Eye of the Storm perk now improves error angle in addition to projectile accuracy, so players can see the hip reticle contract as the perk activates.
I think we can all kind of thank Datto for that.
Yeah, right?
He put out that really long video about Eye of the Storm and how it just doesn't do anything.
Icarus airborne inaccuracy reduced by an additional 9%.
It's a buff.
It is a buff, yeah.
It's a buff.
Oh, okay, good.
And
That's
I'm
great.
excited about that.
That's good. I'm sorry, I read it wrong then.
Yeah, I want to jump around in the sky and shoot people and be able to do that.
Yes, that is a fun thing to do. Aggressive Ballistics. Aggressive Ballistics is a barrel perk that adds the highest damage increase to the weapon when selected and can also roll on a handful of exotic and legendary primaries. This perk in particular has made balancing a few archetypes very tricky. Bringing up the base damage to a certain threshold will make these weapons with aggressive ballistics abnormally lethal for that archetype. This change affects aggressive ballistics on all weapons. Change. Damage increase now asks for a 20% stability trade-off from 10%. So negative 20 stability trade-off.
I'm fine with this one as well. It is really odd in all of my weapon reviews where it pretty much comes down to, do the other perks give you like a massive stability increase? If no, use aggressive ballistics because it's really easy to control that recoil, and then it also ups the damage. Increasing the stability on aggressive ballistics or decreasing the ability that it gives, completely fine.
It might be like a tiny little bit of a nerf to a lot of the strong shotguns that we're seeing in PvP now, because a lot of the top shotguns in the meta all rely on aggressive ballistics. Well, yeah. So, I mean, that extra little bit of kick might change the shotgun just a little bit.
Mida Multi-Tool. So this has become one of the most popular guns in the game.
Last word, right?
No, the Mida Multi-Tool, that graph. Oh my
God.
That's a
really funny graph. All the way up.
It's like, hey, there's one really consistently good weapon? Yeah, we brought it to year 2. Boom!
Yeah,
top of the
December
charts.
15th, it took off.
I think a patch dropped that day. I can't exactly remember though.
The only change they made to this thing was to remove high caliber rounds from the intrinsic behavior. So you're just gonna be using it less to flinch snipers. I think it's gonna be easier to fight against it.
I don't know. I wish. I don't care about high caliber rounds in PvP. This is a PvE change for the sake of PvP that I'm kind of disappointed in, because I like using Mida in PvE. I like the high caliber rounds. Just watching an enemy eternally stutter step until they die it's a good gun. It's a good gun, and I don't know. That was kind of the one reason why I really liked using it in PvE. So I guess I gotta find a new gun. Okay.
The Suros regime, selecting focus fire now grants a plus 45 range stat.
Wouldn't that completely max out the range?
It will. With other perks that are available. You'll have to use some other perks too.
It's kind of frightening in a way.
It's kind of scary.
That's scary, because range does increase the aim assist as well to a certain extent, and focus fire, I mean, that thing is deadly accurate when focus fire. So
this comes with the buff to the high impact auto rifles as well. So this thing is getting a real buff.
I'm wondering how the Suros regime will compete with other really good scout rifles, probably like the Mida multi-tool in PvP, because if the range can hit from that far, and we know that the Suros is going to be hitting pretty hard, I mean, I'm not going to say it might overshadow a lot of scout rifles completely, but like, it's definitely kind of food for thought, right? It seems like it's going to be really strong.
I'm glad I didn't put out the review for Suros regime like 2 weeks ago when I was supposed to, because this completely changes it.
Yeah, this is a big change.
There's one more change coming forward too.
Yeah, spinning up now activates 4 shots later in the magazine, so it won't activate as soon. Hawkmoon is getting an increased base range stat by 10.
Good.
Good, yeah. That's a good change. Yeah.
Good.
I'm actually really happy about this for the Xbox players who've never really had known the full power of the Hawkmoon. They got so screwed by. They finally got Hawkmoon and it immediately got nerfed into hell.
I was so sad about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is actually a really nice change. I hope Hawkmoon is really good.
Me too.
Agreed.
The last word. No damage bonus is applied from the last word perk.
It's still really good. It's still going to be
It's a full auto hand cannon.
Yeah.
And it's really good at close range, so it's the perfect thing to put with a sniper.
Yeah.
It's still going to be the perfect.
It's losing the ability to 2-shot.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out with like the Doctrine of Passing archetype auto rifle changes, because that's the other really, really good thing to use with a sniper rifle right now, because that'll take care of close range perfectly. Yeah, see which one's better after the patch.
Can we temporarily lift our ban on Thorn mentions on the podcast?
For this next section right here.
Temporary 5-minute lift on the ban.
And then probably we'll bring it back during when we talk about firebolts, but just for this one section, we can talk about Thorn because it is in the patch notes.
All right, so it's staying a year 1 weapon. They are reducing its damage over time, tick damage, to the absolute minimum in PvP. 1 health point base damage. They're reducing the damage over time duration in PvP to 4 ticks, down from 6, and they're reducing the intensity of poison screen effects for the victim to preserve combat effectiveness while poisoned.
All this sounds so good.
They also mentioned that the likelihood of you dying from damage over time is greatly reduced. Yeah. It'd have to be a pretty nasty coincidence. It should be a somewhat balanced weapon now.
I still think it's going to be a good, effective weapon in PvP.
Oh, yeah.
But the whole point was to make it so that it's not the only super competitive option in like very fast-paced 3v3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They want more variety in weapon selection, and I think they did a pretty good job taking it down to where it needs to be.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's not going to be a usable weapon. It looks like it's still going to be a good weapon, but you're going to have to actually aim for the head now.
Yeah, definitely. No 3-shot body and walk away.
That's the key feature there. Is it was a hand cannon that could kill in 3 body shots, and it was like I think the only one that could do that without any other like damage increasing things from some of the other hand cannons. The only hand cannon that was capable of that, and it was in the fastest rate of fire archetype. And yeah, so now you actually have to hit at least, I think it was 1 precision and 2 body for it to kill. I think that
sounds
was
right. Yeah.
I think that's what the final
I
damage.
think precision's 75 on Thorn.
70. Yeah, close enough.
75?
Close enough.
Yeah.
Icebreaker's getting some changes. They're increasing the scope zoom for the optics up to 6x. Reducing base handling stat to the lowest value for sniper rifles. Reduce base target acquisition by 25%.
Oh, boy.
And death swapping in PvP no longer allows ammo to persist between swapped weapons. So nobody's ever going to use this thing in PvP again.
Oh my god, this thing. They were like, you know what? We could just address the whole, the ammo swapping thing. No. That grave is not deep
They
enough.
buried that gun, man.
It'll crawl
Buried
out
it.
somehow.
Yeah, this thing will not see use in anybody's inventory until they update it with a year 2
Poor
version.
Icebreaker.
Yeah, because it's not going to be effective for PvE or PvP anymore.
I just
Back to Vault of Glass.
Will I still be able to no scope with it? That's my only question.
Will I still be able to make MLG montage clips with the Icebreaker? Please.
Drake's Promise, one of my favorite Year 1 weapons. Projectiles track more aggressively. On fire, targeting locks onto the enemy in your reticle. Damage reduced 40% and rate of fire reduced to compensate. Damage fall off reduced to match sidearm archetype range. So this thing should be more effective at range because you had to be really close to use this thing. And when you are aiming at your target, the bullets should land, unlike what it has done in the past.
It feels like it's a really complex and complicated way of them adding hit scan to the weapon.
Like that's what I was wondering when they were announcing this. Why didn't you just make it a hit scan weapon?
Yeah. And why'd you just make it like a pulse rifle? Pulse rifles don't need to lock onto targets at all. You just fire it and you're good. I don't know. It's weird.
I'm happy to see this though. It looked like it was badass too in the
it was
video.
doing work.
Yeah. It's one of the most unique weapons in the game, so I'm excited. Lord of Wolves, reduce ammo inventory to reflect base shotgun inventory reduction.
That's the only change. It's the only change.
Moving on.
Same with the Queensbreaker bow. They're just reducing the ammo. Telesto fixed a bug that caused Telesto projectiles to despawn when impacting friendly players and Wards of Dawn. Telesto rounds now attach and detonate on friendly targets, but do not cause friendly fire. This is going to cause so many great clips.
I gotta admit, I can't see this ever really actually coming into like strategic play in PvE.
We'll make it work.
I'm doing it 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to have a
Why?
team of
Why
6. One man stands near a hallway. When an enemy player is coming, all 5 other players fire their Telesto at that guy and send him running like a suicide bomber and see if we can get a kill. That's my goal.
God. It's I don't know. When I heard that change, I was like, this I didn't know I needed this, but now I'm so happy.
Yeah,
that
it's so
going to
great.
be here.
It's going to be fun.
All right, the 1,000-yard stare. They have another one of those awesome graphs. Apparently, in PvP, about 35 to 40% of players are using this thing in PvP.
I do like how in the before we get into the change that's coming to it. Not that it really matters. I think there are a number of factors that contribute to this weapon usage, but the end result is a pretty remarkable spike in weapon usage. It's like, yeah, there are a lot of factors that attribute to it, like the fact that you gave one to everyone at the end of the quest,
Yeah.
and that
It can
it's
revive snipe.
It can revive snipe, and the one from the Vanguard is really good for PvE,
And it has good aim assist.
and good aim assist, and really and good. Like it's just all around. It's a really good weapon, and you gave it to everyone.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
That could be why everyone uses it.
Maybe. Or because
But
it's
yes.
orange and people really love orange, but we just never knew until right now.
Oh, I do. It reminds me of my LDR because it's orange
Yeah,
and blue.
that's what I thought of right when I saw it. Like, oh, look, another LDR.
Yep.
They reduced the base ammo inventory stat. So this is in addition to the reduction
other
that
changes.
all sniper rifles are getting. This one's getting an extra one.
It's like, I don't think it was really necessary, especially as they're making more archetypes able to res snipe, plus you're getting the LDR back, plus you're getting all of these other new snipers. It's like, well, did you really need to do that too? I don't know if that was entirely necessary, but what can you do?
The Quillam's Terminus is getting a couple of changes. They're reducing the base stability stat by 9, and they're reducing the base inventory stat by 15.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, that kind of needed to
Yeah,
happen.
it did.
The inventory stat for PvP was kind of crazy. This sucks that this feels like it's a PvP nerf that again is going to affect PvE.
True.
But yeah.
All the King's Fall weapons are getting a increased reload speed buff, which is great.
That's good. They're all really slow.
Yeah, we saw during the Prison of Elders or the Challenge of Elders stream that one of the guys doing it was using the hand cannon. It did look like it was reloading faster, so hopefully that weapon will be fun to use now. The Anguish of Dristan is getting an increased stability stat by 12%. That's a pretty big buff.
My God, they listen.
So that's it. That's the patch notes.
Well, that's just the
That's just the weapon tuning. Sorry.
Random Iraqi on Reddit. He actually, as the stream was going on, wrote everything down, and I'm gonna use your notes here. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Real MVP. So Sunsingers. I'll do Voidwalkers first. We'll talk about Sunsingers at the very end here. So Voidwalkers, Nova Bomb has absolutely zero changes done to it, which is good for PvP. I wish it did more in PvE. Increased energy from abilities. So like your cooldowns are improved. The energy drain is now way more effective. Energy drain already natively improves a grenade cooldown, but now it's further improved.
It was looking really effective on the Bungie stream. Like he hit a nade, and then like right away it was like back up to around like 50% recharged already. I was
Right.
Like, oh my God.
Huge.
Yeah, as soon as he threw it down, it was back up to half.
Yeah. And I don't know about you guys, but he was using nothing manacles. Did you guys count how many kills he got? Because like the amount of kills that guy got using nothing manacles is more than the entire Destiny community combined after they nerfed him.
Good armor for the Warlock, for the Voidwalker,
yeah, it's fantastic. So either they buffed it or that guy's just a god. I'm okay with both. One thing to note here from Stormcaller is everyone thought they would change that melee range. They didn't.
I'm okay with that.
I'm glad they didn't, to be honest.
It's interesting.
They significantly reduced the effectiveness of that super. They made a huge change to that super. So I don't want to see them do the same thing they did to Sunbreakers, where they just completely took the character class out of the mix. So hopefully they'll still be viable.
There you go. If you take away the distance of amplitude for the Stormcaller melee, I think that's a huge blow, I think, for PvP Stormcaller usage. I think that would be probably a little too much.
Yeah, I can agree with that, because their grenades aren't that great.
Yeah.
And their super just took a hit, so...
Yeah.
So they had a really good stream going for the most part, and then they waited to had to drop the stinker turd right at the end of the stream, and it's like... Basically, the stream ended with them going, "So, are you changing firebolts?" No changes.
And then
Okay, see you later.
Bye-bye.
And they shut off the stream and pull the cord out of the wall. And
Kind of sucks. But yeah, here's the Sunsinger changes. Lowered shield that Sunsingers have after they melee someone, so it's not going to be as strong of a shield. Fireborn also shortens the duration of Radiance if you select that, so be able to come back to life, but you're not going to have that full duration Radiance. And then you can throw more grenades if you have other upgrades. So like Radiant Skin and Song of Flame. So if you have those...
You don't even know the name of them.
Yeah,
those other ones, you know?
probably because no one uses
What is
Song of
it, like,
Flames.
what is
Song of Flame and Radiant Skin.
Yeah. Radiant Skin we use, but like Song of Flame, hello.
Yeah. And the one big thing, of course, there's no change coming to Firebolt grenades, which...
Holtzman,
they said right at the end.
Don't hold back. Tell everyone how you really feel. Come on, right now.
Right now. Well, at the end of the stream, I was wanting to go live and then just start going on a fucking rant about it. But I've had time to calm down.
That's too bad.
Yeah. I drank some coffee. I listened to some Lamb of God. It calmed me down. We're all good.
Pouring the coffee. Are you drinking room temperature water right now?
No, this is warm whiskey.
Oh,
yeah, there we
that's-
go. I wish. No.
Good lord.
Fill the cup up. Let's go.
911 on standby. This is a really tough issue to talk about. I feel like I totally understand why the community is pissed off. I think it's really basically impossible to admit or to not admit that Firebolt is like super strong when combined with Viking Funeral.
It does a lot of damage.
It does a lot, yeah.
But basically, if you get hit by one, and then you get hit by one shot by basically any other weapon, you're dead.
You can
like that's enough.
Away. You can just walk away.
For me, the big thing about Firebolts isn't necessarily the damage, because at this point in the game, you can kind of expect when it's going to happen. You can bait out the grenades. There's a bunch of stuff that happens, but for me, it's the duration of time that it takes me out of the fight, and you're not one hit once your health is all the way down. The second you're hit by that grenade, or if you got hit by something before the grenade, you are technically one hit away from death for the entire duration of that, and you can get burnt out. For me, it's Firebolt really could have used like it could do the same damage for all I really care right now, but the fact that it takes you out of the fight for 14 seconds, I think, after all the time, it's basically 14 seconds, and in a game mode like Trials of Osiris, where we see this a lot, or just over a game mode, 14 seconds is an exceedingly long time. I'm not wanting us to have Call of Duty level regeneration where you get hit a bunch and your health just magically goes back up, but it's this one thing that feels way out of whack from everything else in the game. And I get that some classes need to be unique in that manner. I get that some classes, are really built around this. That's the key argument here, is that Sunsingers really are built around these dots. And if you just, say, fuck it, nerf the damage like they did to Thorn, well, shit, Sunsingers aren't going to be appealing at all.
Right. That's kind of like one of two things that kind of come into mind when you think about nerfing the Sunsinger. I mean, not that I'm kind of on the fence about the lack of change, I guess you could say, because you look at classes that have been nerfed before, specifically the Sunbreaker, and I think they showed a bunch of data where it was just so many people abusing Sunbreaker very, very heavily. I don't think that Sunsinger was quite at that level where it's just completely absurd. Like, you go into a match of Clash and you're like, there's like 5 Sunbreakers on the other team. Good Lord. And then the other part is, again, like you mentioned, it's not just like doing a nerf to the neutral game or like the Stormcaller, like, oh, let's take the super down. If you take the Firebolt and you tweak it too hard, you're hurting the super game and the neutral game in PvP, because the super game is very heavy on, or very reliant on, using Firebolts to get kills. So if you take it down too much, it's like a really thin line that you walk. If you take it down too much, then the entire subclass just pretty much goes in the garbage.
That's true. Yeah, that's a very good point. And I mean, I think the biggest complaint for people is that it does take you out of the fight for so long.
Definitely.
So maybe if there was a way for Sunsingers to, like, they either need to take you out of the fight or a bunch of damage. And I don't know if it's okay for them to do both at the same time.
It's both. It's a very offensive and defensive ability at the same time.
True.
It is, yeah.
Also, the fact that if you're a Sunsinger Warlock, you're speccing max discipline, so you're getting your grenade up every 25 seconds,
Yeah.
and then of course if you have a weapon that has Grenadier or Army of One on it, that's coming back up even sooner. Yeah.
And I love Bungie, but just another point to say why, like, just to play both sides of the fence evenly here, Bungie has said many times that part of their goal in, balances like this is that they want to provide more variety when people play the game. And I can understand that. That's great. And if you look at the people who are playing Crucible at like top level and they're playing Sunsinger, they're only doing it one way. It's Flame Shield, Firebolt, Touch of Flame, Viking Funeral, no questions asked. So just to give Bungie a little bit of flack, I mean, like, they really want to make sure that there's variety. And I feel like right now on the Sunsinger skill tree, there's very little. And just to calm a little bit of people down about the extra nades on the super, I mean, like, it's going to help a lot for sure. Don't get me wrong, it's going to help. But there's not a lot of times in Crucible specifically where you're standing perfectly still doing nothing but throwing nades. I mean, maybe in like Control 6v6 or something like that. But sometimes, realistically, it's like, you know, you throw a nade, they're trying to run from you. You have to stop to, like, you know, chase them down a little bit, throw another. So it's like a combo of like running and throwing back and forth. So even though on paper it sounds really insane to get like 3 more nades, but it might not come into play as often as you think.
But yeah, that's a good point, because obviously if you're only getting, say, 2 more grenades, you could be spending those 2 grenades actually chasing people down.
It's also not a one-hit super like pretty much every other one out there except Defender Titans is. Or Blade Dancers, because, you know, Blade Dancers will take either one hit or like all the hits to kill someone. It depends on the network.
Depending on the melee registration.
It depends on which way the wind's blowing. For the
There's a real gut reaction here, though, because this was the thing about Sunsingers, right? If you're gonna do something about Warlocks, everybody went straight to Firebolt grenades, like right to it. Like if you said to anybody in the community, we're gonna nerf Warlocks, what do you want? What do you think we should do? Everybody would have gone straight to Viking Funeral Firebolt grenades.
They did, for sure. I think the road that they kind of took instead was like, oh, hey, what we made the energy drain build on Voidwalkers really appealing. So I think they're trying to get people to move away from Sunsingers, maybe. So they weren't like, hey, yeah, we can nerf Firebolts. But yeah, I don't know.
In unrelated news, the Purifier robes are coming back.
Oh boy. So they nerf Fireborn and then Purifier robes are coming back.
Jeez, what a coincidence.
Maybe they should buff Purifier robes to also apply when you pop Radiance to give you popping your Radiance protection in close range. I'll give you that one for free, Bungie.
Yeah, I mean, but with the Voidwalker changes that are kind of interesting is that if you throw a grenade, it was looking like he was going to get his health back all the time and a grenade back all the time. So if you're if you're in like a 1v3, right, if you're in a 1v3 in Trials and you can be really low on health and then hit someone with a grenade and get your health back and your grenade super quickly, I don't know, it could be really good. I'm actually really looking forward to trying out Voidwalker.
Me too,
and
because
I'd like to see some numbers.
They were fun to use, I thought, in year 1. You know, I feel like they're overshadowed right now. But, man, they are fun to use. They got Blink. They got that Nova Bomb. The grenades are super fun. Like, they got a lot going for them. But they're just kind of overshadowed in the Warlock, you know, by the other subclasses. So it'd be nice to get back into them.
Kind of worried about for the Voidwalker is I don't think the nades are as good as they could be. I mean, like, you have basically 2 options. You have the Axion Bolt, which you can shade step away from if you're a Night Stalker. Or if you're really clever and you have the timing just right, you can slide right into it kind of at like a 45-degree angle and take 4 damage. And then the other is, Scatternade, is it? Yeah, and then that's pretty good if you can get a good hit on it, but I think you really need like the Nothing Manacles in order for that to be like super powerhouse for the Voidwalker, you know what I mean? If you don't have those, I mean, you might be in a little bit of trouble.
You guys want to talk about the new exotics or the year 1 exotics that are coming back?
Yeah. Do you have a list of those?
Yeah.
I do,
in fact. Oh, yeah. That happened.
Yeah, let's do that.
Drake's Promise. We already talked about Drake's Promise. It's coming back. I'm really excited about this. The Glass House, Khepri Sting, ACD0 Feedback Fence.
Nice. I'm happy about that one.
They were fun.
Yeah.
ATS-8 Arachnid.
No, all those warlocks thinking that they're gonna win with their flame shield. I can win any melee fight with this, and they melee me and they die. It's great.
Yeah, it is great, and they have less health on that shield now. So
yeah, that's a good point.
Good luck, warlocks.
Yep.
Lord of Wolves making a comeback. I used to like the Lord of Wolves because of the team buff it gave for everybody who was within range. I thought that was a very
and they
fun
buffed
run.
the team buff back in 2.0 as well, and just no one used it because Taken King came out.
Yeah, right. It was
and also
year 1 weapon.
And Conspiracy Theory D is a thing. So
Lucky Raspberry, everybody's favorite year 1 chess piece for arc bolt grenades. Universal Remote, the primary shotgun, coming back.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
That was a fun weapon to use.
It was. Eternal Warrior, the ugliest helmet in the game. Patience and Time.
Yes. My favorite sounding gun in the game.
Purifier. What thing about Patience of Time is when the Taken King came out, they also buffed the amount of invisibility you get when you go invisible. It might
Did
be
they?
really hard.
I
Yeah,
don't
things are
remember
more
that.
invisible now than they used to be.
Oh, they are. Yeah, they are. That'll be. Oh boy.
So Patience of Time could be more effective than it used to be. Purifier robes, Queensbreaker bow. That was a fun year one weapon as well.
Yep.
And
I
that's
feel
it.
like all those weapons we didn't get a lot of time with either, the Prison of Elders ones. So
Yeah.
it's going to be really nice to have them and hopefully have them be more useful than before.
So those are some cool year one exotics. I'm glad to see the Prison of Elders weapons coming back. It's fitting that we're getting, the Challenge of Elders as new content right now. It makes sense that these are coming back. I got a question for you guys, though. We haven't heard much about new exotics. We have seen one new exotic. Help me out with the name of it, though. I can't remember the name of it.
Zen Meteor.
Zem Meteor.
Yep.
What do you guys think that's going to be?
It's a sniper rifle.
Okay. Expand.
It's got the name Zen in it.
The thing
So maybe
shoots
it's
fire
like
out the
max.
side.
The firing animation looked badass.
Yeah.
It
It
had
looked really
had a
cool.
really cool muzzle flash to it. It's a high rate of fire. It's a high rate of fire sniper rifle with one bullet in the magazine. Just looking at the flavor text because it's all about taking that one shot. It's a high rate of fire one. If it's a crit, and then it refunds that shot. But if you miss, you got to reload. Huh?
Huh?
Why would it be a high rate of fire
Yeah.
if you only have one bullet?
Well, that's why you hit the crit, and then it boom, it refills. It's like
Ultimate
it's-
get good gun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
right?
get good gun. So you're just like
Yeah.
pow, 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 pow. Zen moment. You're eternally in a Zen moment, man.
I've seen some speculation, and I don't necessarily believe it, that it could be a heavy sniper rifle, which would be cool.
It would be cool.
We also found out today, Bungie introduced their new, I don't even know what this website is called, but in it, if you can go there and see how long it will take you to level up and what kind of activities will help you level up. And in it, they reveal that Taken shotgun that we've seen automatically drops at 335. Guaranteed drop at 335.
Oh, that
Yeah. And
I didn't know that.
the Taken sword is a 310 drop. And it drops from the new strike boss.
No doubt you've noticed these wild mics and headphones that we are using. They are just some of the iconic gear Blue creates. Blue's award-winning products are the driving force behind professional musicians, internet creators, and countless elite gaming teams and Twitch streamers. Their Yeti USB mics are the internet's most popular microphones, and their MoFi and Lola headphones deliver insane sound and a personalized fit. Blue offers everything you need to completely immerse yourself in the ultimate gameplay experience. Learn more, bluemic.com. And I just want to say, you're not even sponsored by Blue, and you're using a Blue
I'm
mic.
not.
And then
Yeah.
I
Fallout.
got 3.
Why do you?
I got one here too.
They are. They're standard issue YouTube equipment.
We were talking about that before. Yeah.
All right, Shots at Universal Shot says, thoughts on lower impact snipers being able to res snipe. You guys like this? You think it's a bad idea?
I think it's cool.
I think it's great. Yeah.
The only
Just
thing
more
that
options.
people are worried about is Defiance of Yasmin becoming the dominant thing because the scope is going to be unaffected.
Is it going to
by
be
the
unaffected
changes.
though?
I don't know. That's what people are saying.
I was wondering about those holographic sites. There's one that's available on the Thousand Yard Stare and one that's
Oh,
available
yeah.
on the Irene, and they're pretty low zoom. Tommy Boy at Tommy Callahan says, "What do you think of the new PvP? What do you think the new PvP meta will be? What do you guys think is going to be top of the meta here?"
That's a good question. I don't know.
So I think obviously the Suros type and that Queen's auto rifle are going to be really good for long range stuff, but they're not going to be great at short range. So obviously you need something that's going to be good at short range as well. I think people are still going to use Last Word when it comes to short range and sniping for sure. Suros is coming back.
I'm really hoping Hawkmoon sees a revival. Fingers crossed.
I was actually wondering what you guys thought about more people using No Land if they want to like kind of run and gun snipe, because obviously it's not going to have a scope that's affected. Maybe more people will start using that.
Hopefully we're getting
That'll be
closer to a meta that is flat, right? Where you can use whatever kind of weapon you feel like using, and as long as the perks are good, it's still good. Mighty Snipes 84 at Tetralt Daniel. Which updated legendary year 1 weapon are you going to pick up first after the April update?
LDR.
Depends on which one I get rewarded.
Right.
Oh yeah, good point.
I have zero choice in the matter.
Like I can just walk over to the. Oh, there's a store.
Like,
If you
oh,
could pick,
Free
what would it
LDR,
be?
please. Thank you.
If I could,
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, Longview does have 5 in the mag, so Longview, or Longbow. There we go with that.
Gentleman Jedi at Gentleman Jedi. Would you like a firing range in Destiny?
I would love that. God, I've wanted that for so long.
Basically, I want Hope Bear to be, just tied to a post in the tower so I can just continually shoot him. In video games only. FBI, please don't come after me.
Patrick Villegas at Inferno Guy 13. What was your first exotic weapon?
Mine was Hard Light. I got it as a Crucible drop at the end of the game. And then the map that we went to right after I got it was First Light. And I was like, I'm going to use my new Hard Light. It did not go well.
No, I bet it
I was
didn't.
really sad. I was very sad.
Mine was Thunderlord, and it was epic, man. I got that Thunderlord, and I ripped it up in the Crucible for like a month straight.
I
it
bet
was
you did.
Unbelievable. And it was a Crucible drop, which, what are the odds of that happening? Tyler at Xer Joker. Do you think that hoarding engrams will work this time? Because this is an update, not a full DLC.
Who knows?
Who knows? I'm doing it.
Just in case I have a bunch.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm doing it too, but I really have no idea. Laura Del Casa at Manio Jackson. Thoughts on the PS exclusive sniper rifle that us Xbox One users may not see this year?
I don't like exclusives.
I don't.
Neither do
I don't like year-long exclusives.
Right. Yeah.
Bungie.
Please.
Bungie, we used to be best friends. We had Halo together. We did everything together. Come back, Bungie, please. I love you. I'll do whatever you want me to do. Please.
Anything you say.
Anything, eh? Yeah.
Even buy a PlayStation.
Guardian Cell at Guardian Cell. Do you guys think this is the last major update before the fall expansion? We got 5 months to go.
Yeah,
I don't know.
probably.
They might do some events.
Yeah. Well,
I wouldn't be surprised if some events
That would be
come.
nice.
Outside of Iron Banner.
Bring back Sparrow Racing, please.
Just bring
Hey,
back Sparrow
hey,
Racing. People want their shaders.
Grant, I think, was wearing a Sparrow Racing League T-shirt. It's
I
confirmed.
saw that. That was awesome.
Confirmed. It's confirmed. It's coming back.
Ted Eller at Ted Eller. What's one change you would make to Hunters and one change you would make to Titans? Any subclass. I would make Hunters Blade Dancers melee actually work, and I would make Titans Solar Hammers actually connect for a kill.
Yeah, I'd probably have to go with Arcblade 2. It's just such... I'm like, every time I'm a Blade Dancer, I'm like, well, guys, I have my blade, but I don't know how much that means. I might go in there and just die.
You're probably gonna die. I'd like there to be a Katamari Damacy bubble that you could select for Defender Titans, and it would reduce the size of your bubble, but the bubble exponentially grows based on how many people you run over.
You
with the
roll
bubble.
it like a hamster ball and
Yeah.
get the kills that way?
Yeah, there we go.
I
we
love
go.
that.
I don't know
love
what I
that.
would change, but it would definitely be something to a Defender Titan. I feel like they are so sad in PvP right now. I want to help them. Maybe it might be neat if when the Defender died, the bubble didn't disappear. Maybe that makes the bubble more viable. I mean, because I feel like very few people play Defender.
Night Stalker thing stays around afterwards.
Yeah, so why not the
Yeah.
bubble?
I don't know if it's that defenders are ineffective. I think that it's just not as much fun to play a defensive class. GE at Gabriel Inaki. How is a sniper supposed to defend against a bum rushing shotgun now that the last word in the doctrine don't kill fast enough?
Stop playing like an idiot.
Yeah, stay away from that corner, dude. Back up a little bit. You've got a sniper rifle, man.
Well, and the last word is still going to be effective against them. Just jump backwards as you're
Grenades,
shooting
backpedaling, last word, weapons that do well in close quarters combat.
Use patience and time. It's got radar active.
And it makes you invisible. The bum rusher will just run right past you. You won't
Or
see it.
run right
quickscope
by
them
ya.
and make a really
it.
dank
Or
montage.
use universal remote. There you go. Then now you have a shotgun.
German at Dishwasher Roll. What is your all's favorite type of sushi?
Ooh.
Good question.
Ooh.
Ooh, the eel is really good. Eel
eel
is always
really
good.
You-
People get weirded out though. Like if they've never had eel before, they're like, "Oh, you like eel?" It's like, dude.
The thing
Like,
is,
no,
you
but
don't want to
it's
think about what's in it,
pressed
man.
meat.
You think about what's in it. It's just fucking raw fish. What's the thing? It's like, what's in the eel? Like, what did the eel have for dinner? No, I'm having the eel for dinner. I don't need to go Inception level on what I'm eating. I mean,
Spicy tuna roll, done.
Oh, yeah, those are super good.
I'm not
Usually-
a fan of rolls.
The sweet shrimp is also really
Oh,
good.
that's good too.
Just give me some scallops, like just straight scallop nigiri.
Good call.
Usually, I'll go with the whatever's free option, but I don't feel like that's a good option when you're ordering sushi.
You know,
You definitely want to pay for sushi. You want to get that shit fresh.
Just get the omakase. Then you get whatever the chef thinks is
Yeah,
best.
I like actually ordering off the special menu, like whatever's kind of the special.
Omakase is usually expensive though.
It is. Well,
worth
I
it, though.
don't know.
What's
They have
omakase?
different
What's
options.
omakase?
That's when you just put your faith in the sushi chef and you just say, "You make
Yeah.
whatever you want for me," and they will
boy.
bring it to you like one piece at a time.
Oh,
And it's pretty cool because sometimes they'll give you
yeah.
stuff that's like menu alterations or off the menu stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Every single time, I always order that. When it's a new place, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get that. Give me whatever you think is your best stuff.
Totally.
and they're like, hell
Has
yeah.
it ever gone horribly wrong?
Yeah, it's called the paycheck.
No.
That's where it goes horribly
It's
wrong.
always been amazing.
Yeah.
It's always been. Amazing.
David Mackey at Dixie Smash. Boxers or briefs?
Boxer briefs.
None at
Isn't
all.
that everybody wears boxer briefs now?
Dude, it's like it's the best of both worlds. There's just,
Why choose one when you can have both?
exactly.
We're in a world where you can have
It's the
both.
21st and a half century now. Like we're there, man. We got boxer briefs. There is no question anymore.
We're living in the future.
Yeah.
Damn it.
All right, guys. That was the 65th Planet Destiny podcast. I want to thank you all for tuning in. We're gonna do a little bit stuff here after we do our send off, so we can stop recording. But this has been Patrick Casey with Planet Destiny. You know where to find me. I got a personal Twitch. Just add Holtzman. Personal stream on. Fuck it. Just go. Once the YouTube channel gets fixed, you can find me there.
I'm Briar Rabbit. You can find me on the YouTube channel, Briar Rabbit channel. You can find me doing videos for Planet Destiny or streaming right here for Planet Destiny or streaming on my own channel on Twitch. Just look for Briar Rabbit or on Twitter at the Briar Rabbit.
I'm Ms5oooWatts. You can find me on Twitter, Ms5oooWatts, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram if you really want to. I'm all the place.
Branding
Ms5oooWatts
pays off.
everywhere.
Branding pays off.
It's good.
I'm on twitch.tv/FalloutPlays. I'm on youtube.com/FalloutPlays. And Twitter at Fallout_plays because there's another jerk out there who kind of took my name a while ago. So
Well, thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you next week.